Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Assessing Livingston Parish with Jeff Taylor. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. I'm enjoying doing these. This is our third one, and so I'm getting a lot of feedback from it. People are actually calling me and everything, and so usually I don't get a lot of feedback when I get on it, but yeah, it's been great.
Very good, and we've been getting a lot of views, which is nice. And you and I are getting pretty good at this.
Yeah, we're decent with it and everything.
That's right.
They want me to clean up the beard, but I'm gonna go through April with it, and then I'm gonna clean it up.
There you go. Well, you've been a busy assessor lately. You spoke recently at the parish council meeting here in Livingston Parish. Let's talk about that in the first responders homestead. Got some additional stuff.
Got some information for you. The parish council did pass it. It was a unanimous vote to give our first responders an extra $25,000 of homestead exemption. I was for that. I supported that a lot because our first responders go through a lot.
Sure.
It's important, though, that people come or call our office to see who qualifies as a first responder. Not everybody that thinks they're a first responder is a first responder. It's very spelled out in the legislature. In the Act 179, it's spelled out as to who can get it.
Yeah.
Private cannot get it. Public employees can. State police can get it even if they don't live in that parish. Others have to live in the parish to get the exemption. You can work in Baton Rouge and live in Livingston. You don't get the exemption. Don't come screaming at the assessor. The assessor didn't write the legislation. This is legislation that was given. So there are some rules and everything that we got to do. Now my job is to create the form for everybody to come in when they sign it. You've got to do it every year.
Yeah.
It's not something once you sign it is there forever. So you got to come back in and renew it every year. They put a little bit of work on you to do it. Okay. And so you come by there and you sign the form and you got to get it notarized.
Yeah.
Because the people say, why do we have to get it notarized? Well, if you're not a first responder and we go through all the work and put you down there and we find out you're not, because we are going to check them.
Sure.
We need to have something that has a little teeth in it.
Very good. And so keep that in mind. And an example of a private, for example, Acadian ambulance.
Acadian ambulance is a private.
Public, but you think
it's not public, it's private.
Yeah.
So it's on, so they don't qualify.
They don't qualify, but your Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office
absolutely
employees. Okay.
Municipalities qualify. Volunteer fire departments, they qualify as long as they get their hours in. They got to have a certain number of hours. They got to be on the insurance for the listing. There's a lot of things you've got to look at to make sure you qualify. And we're going to look at them very closely, obviously, because that's our job. We have to.
And it's $25,000. So instead of $75,000, they will qualify for $100,000 exemption.
That's correct. They go up to $100,000.
Is about $2,500.
Well, the assessment part of it would be $2,500. Okay. So $25,000, everything is on a 10%. So the assessed value, you instead of getting a $7,500 homestead, you get $2,500.
Gotcha.
Everything in our office is on a 10th.
Gotcha. Okay?
And so that $2,500, when you look at the millages, if you got 100 meals, it's going to save you roughly, I think, $250.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. So, I mean, that's money in your pocket.
Yeah.
And people say, well, that's not a whole lot. Okay, well, then if 10 of you give it to me, I'll be real happy. That's $2,500 in my pocket.
Hey, anything is good.
That's right. Anything is good. They're working for it. They're trying to give you the breaks that they can, and they're giving you what they can.
That's right. So, and it was already a state deal that was passed, but it also needs to get passed on a parish level.
That's right. Yeah, the state passes constitutional.
Yeah.
So they had to go to the vote of the people. They passed it. And then what it said was each parish, the governing body of the parish, which ours is our parish council, not the parish president, not the assessor, not the sheriff. We get no input in it.
Right.
The parish council, the 9 of them voted to give it to our first responders. At that point, when they approved it, it then puts me on the clock to come up with a form that people fill out when they come in.
Okay, very good. And if you have any questions, I'm sure just reach out to the assessor's
call
office.
Us. We want to.
Very good, very good. Now, also millage meetings. Let's talk about those for a second.
The millage meeting, the last time we was here, and I talked to you about talking to the different districts about having a common meeting to where people can come in. What we're finding is that we're getting significant blowback from it. Not a lot of the districts are wanting to do this, but the parish council, They want to do it. I've talked to all of them except for two. I haven't been able to reach two of them, which I'll try to reach them by the next time we talk. The town of Livingston, the city of Denham Springs. They're like, we want to do that. We think we should be explaining to the people. And I said, well, because I shouldn't be explaining your budget to anybody.
Right.
And anybody that pays attention knows that my job, again, is to assess property. Assessor, assess. It doesn't say taxer.
Nope.
It says assessor.
Yeah.
So the taxes that are on your bill when they come in, you need to be paying attention because the districts are what puts that on there. Again, like I said last time, if I assess your house at $1 million and the millage is zero, your taxes are zero.
Yeah.
If I assess your house at $100,000 and your millages are 100 mills, your taxes are 1,000.
Yeah.
So it behooves you to come in at this meeting and pay attention to who is coming in. Now, we can't do anything official at the meeting. What we wanted to do was set up a meeting one night and a month later have another meeting. Yeah. We found that some of these districts have to meet at their place of regular meeting.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, that's no problem. We're going to invite you in as a non-official meeting, but you can still come in May or June, and you can meet with us there. You can tell the people what you're going to do with your budget. Why should I be no different than Walmart coming in here and saying, Jim, this is what you're going to do with your budget.
Yeah.
Jim, this is what you're going to do with your money.
Yeah.
Everything. That's not the way it works.
No.
Same thing for me. I don't have any input in what they do with their budget.
Yeah.
But when those tax notices go out, everybody comes in and sees me.
Yeah.
Well, why am I defending your budget? You're the one that said it. You're the one that set your millages. You come tell the people.
That's hard to argue with.
It's hard to
Makes
argue
sense.
with. But we've talked about it for years and years and years. And when the tax notices go out, and you can shoot a cannon off, and you're not going to hit any of them.
Sure.
They're gone.
Right.
They know that the phone calls are coming where? Assessor's office.
That's right.
And people are screaming that, well, you need to go talk to the assessor. He raised your assessment. It doesn't matter what I do with your assessment because by law, the money that they got last year, the millages adjust down automatically to where they get no more money than they got last year. So when I do my job and raise the assessment up, that money should adjust down. But at the same meeting, they can vote to roll their millages back up.
Yeah.
And they do.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to blame other people, but when you've got to explain it for yourself, all of a sudden it comes to light then.
That's right. And it's, think of it like a town hall, people, and
that's it.
And you're going there and they're giving you the information they should be giving the people and explaining where the money is going in different areas. Jeff Taylor is not going to explain, why the city of Denham Springs is spending money. It's not his job.
It's not my job. Yeah. It's not my job. I've actually had them remove the tax amount from our computers because so my people can't sell because people will call up and say, what's our taxes? I have no idea. I'm the assessor. Here's your assessment. Yeah. Let me give you what your assessment is. Me and you agree on that, we're good. You disagree with me, bring in some paperwork, bring in your insurance, bring in an appraisal, bring in an educated guess. Yeah. But we'll sit down and we'll talk about it. But if they're right, we're going to leave them. And you got to realize now we're going to be, I've had people that were really spooked about the 40% that I told them. Yeah. So you're looking at some that, 40%, 45%. But you got to realize that we had a 10% COVID deal that you shouldn't have had all that time. Yeah. We had the flood discount. So when you take those all off, you're really only going up about 20, 25%, which is about 6% a year. That's Inflation was 8.
Yeah.
So the numbers are there.
Yeah.
But because I gave the discounts that people have forgotten about, it makes the number look higher. And they're like, oh, my Lord, our assessments went up. You should have already been here.
Yeah. Well, and really, we've received a lot. I mean, ever since the flood, after the flood, we steep discounts, and rightfully so. But that was something that you offered to the parish citizens and got through, and that was a big deal.
One of the things that we said, it helps us all. It helped me. It helped everybody. But we said it. All these other parishes with money, they're sitting there. And they are able to give these discounts for 1 year. They give 70% for 1 year. Right. Couldn't do it. If I'd have gave 70%, we'd have had no money.
Right.
We're sitting here, and I was talking to the parish president the other day. We got people over at the legislature.
Yeah.
Livingston Parish, the fastest growing parish in the state. Yeah. It's in all the papers. Yeah. The fastest growing.
Wow.
38th on the money list from the legislature this year. 38th. Fastest growing, we're the 38th. We got $10 million this year from the capital outlay. Tangipahoa Parish got $20 million. Ascension Parish got $100 million. Let that sink in. Ascension Parish got $100 million. Tangipahoa Parish got 20, and Livingston got 10. And we're sitting here arguing about our 10, what we can do. Let's take this away and everything. What we should be arguing about is, why did Ascension get 100?
That's right.
Why did Tangipahoa get 20? If you'd have taken all that money and put it together, 100, 20, and 10, it's $130 million, right?
Yeah.
Those three parishes divided, it comes out to be $43 million each.
Yeah.
But we're sitting here worried about $10 million when we should be asking, why didn't we get more?
I agree with that.
100%.
Yeah.
Why did Tangipahoa Parish, who's a rural parish just like us, why did they get 20?
Yeah.
Why did Ascension get 100? 100 million.
Do a lot with that.
You can do a lot with that. You think that our parish council and our municipalities couldn't do something with $43 million?
Yeah.
I know they could.
I know they
It'd make things a lot better. But we're sitting here with 10 and we're arguing over the crumbs and everything. So, well, we need to divide this up and everything. We need to be over there asking why we only got 10 million.
That's right.
That's where
Fastest
we need to
growing.
be. Fastest growing.
Parish.
38th on the money list. We're the 9th largest as far as population. Fastest growing, 9th largest population, 38th on the money list. We got 10 million. Why are we not asking the question, why didn't we get more?
Yeah.
Why didn't we have more in the hopper?
Yeah.
I want roads. I want bridges. I want all of it. I want it all. But when we're only getting 10 million,
Takes money.
takes money. But they got 100. So the question is, I want to look over there and go, why did they get 100?
Yeah. I'm questioning that. I was not aware of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So good question. And all of us as Livingston Parish citizens should wonder and really do your homework on.
Yeah, do your homework.
On why, because that sure would help. And hopefully in the future, we'll be able to get funding like that at some point. Sure would be nice.
Yeah, a lot of times you got social media that runs and goes crazy with this, and we don't think they ought to have this and that, but whatever.
Yeah.
The question that should be on everybody's mind right now is, why did they get 100 million and 20 million and we got 10?
Yeah.
Why did you limit the fastest growing parish to 10 million? That should be the question.
Great question.
Absolutely. It's a
Great
good
question. And before we get out of here, it's going to be a little shorter show than normal, but I did want to make everyone aware that Jeff is possibly going to be an assistant coach at LSU ladies basketball next year. He has the best strategy as to, look, we both love LSU women's basketball and LSU in general athletics. And we were talking before this, and Jeff, tell them what should have happened to Caitlin.
Well, nobody agrees with me, so you know that nobody agrees with my strategy, and especially the two basketball players in our family, my wife and my daughter. But I think we should have went back to the hack-a-shack, and we should have hacked to Caitlin. And every player on that bench has got 5 fouls to give. And every time she went up for a shot, we should have kind of hacked her a little bit. I know she would have eventually been shooting foul shots. But after a little while, those hands and arms may have been hurting a little bit. I said, that's the only way you're going to stop her.
That's
so
right.
as I'm sitting there watching the game, I said, somebody hack her, do something. You got 5 fouls to give. Of course, it ended up catching up with Angel, and she fouled out. But, man, I love me some women's basketball. I love to watch LSU. One of the jokes that me and my wife have talked about is this year we're going to put on our Facebook page, if you get married during an LSU home football game or you get married in the SEC or beyond women's basketball tournament, you did not expect us to come. That's where we're at.
That's right.
We do love to follow the Lady Tiger basketball team. I love what Kim has done with the team. She has brought a lot of excitement, and excitement so much that I wear the jackets and everything.
I've seen them.
Yeah, people have seen them. They've commented about them. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
If you've never been to a game, go to a game.
Yeah.
Go out there and support, because they're exciting to watch.
They really are. And, Simone Augustus, who was a great player for LSU, since then, the program went through a little bit of a struggle, and then and now it's coming back with everything.
With a vengeance. It's strong. See, I remember all the way back to Joyce Walker.
Oh, yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
remember the teams of 84, 85, 86.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but Delia played on the LSU basketball team. My wife played LSU. She missed going to the Final Four by 2 points. Tennessee beat them by 2 points. She was on the team that missed going by 2 points by Tennessee. We still can't hardly say Tennessee.
Miss Delia can do it all.
She,
Fly a
you know,
plane,
she's an extremely
climbs mountains.
yeah. She's an extremely talented woman. She really puts her heart and soul into things that she does. You know, she's on a commission right now that she's been working on, and I tell people all the time, had she just been put on that and she would have done nothing, people would have said she's just getting us deadhead. But now that she's went out and got some things to happen,
Yeah.
when you put her on there, whether it be at church, whether it be in government, whether it be on anything like that, she's going to go out there and do the best of her ability to make sure that that job is done. She's special.
I have no doubt about that. And you know, your daughter, who is a rock star in her own right, she actually taught my twin girls at Denham Springs High School for a while, and favorite teacher ever.
Yeah,
They absolutely love her.
I will let her know that.
Yeah.
And everything. She's the same way. They get to talking about the basketball and everything, and I tell them all the time, I said, I'm not here really for the strategy. I'm here to watch the game. So if y'all need to talk strategy, y'all need to move down a little bit, because I don't know about stepping in the hole. I don't know about picking this one up and rolling around and going around. I don't know all that.
Yeah.
I know that I like to watch this. And when my daughter was playing, I like to watch number 11.
Yeah.
And when she come out of the game and everything, I may do something else, but I liked watching her.
Yeah.
And so, but they're very passionate about it, and they love their basketball.
Well, I can see why, and super athletic girls over there in the Taylor family. Look, you get it all with this podcast. You get a little bit of information about assessing, and we'll talk every now and then about the goings on of whatever's going on in this area.
And if you want any more advice on women's basketball and how to guard people, call Delia.
Call Delia. Yeah, she can tell you. Or you just hack them. Just hit them in the arm a few times. Yep. There you go. Well, thank you for coming on, and your hard work speaks for itself. Really.
It's we've got it rolling. We've got things going really well. When other offices are calling you saying, okay, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Used to, they would ask it in a different way. They say, what in the world are you doing?
Yeah.
Now they say, man, what are you doing? How are you getting this done? And even with the legislative auditor, some of them, when they had things that happened, the legislative auditor say, call Livingston. They've went through this. They know how to do this. That is a big thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to put it in, but that's a big thing when you realize that you're giving advice of how to do things right.
Yeah.
You know, I know the common theme is that politicians and everybody is all that and everything, but I work with some good people.
Yeah.
I work with some good people.
You do. Jeff Taylor, thank you for coming on, sharing information about what's going on in Livingston Parish. I think it's a great thing. Folks, I'm going to link, of course, as I always do, the assessor's office information in the description of this podcast. So thank you, Jeff, for coming on.
Thank you, Jim, for having me. Thank you for doing this. This is really getting our information out like we need to.
You got it. See y'all next time.